Greetings, esteemed viewers. Step into the realm of business excellence with us on Elevate Your Business, where we unravel the secrets to success and share the strategies that lead to triumph. I'm your host, Ed Jurecki, and I'm thrilled to have you here today. In this program, our goal is to educate and empower business owners, leaders, and entrepreneurs such as yourself by offering valuable insights and guidance from accomplished individuals who have walked a similar path in the world of business. So today, I'm thrilled to introduce a remarkable guest on our podcast, Dr. Ariel Cerruto. Dr. Cerruto has an amazing story and a journey that I'm excited for her to share. As Ariel joins us on the show, she will shed light on what success means to her personally and how her definition has evolved over time, as well as one or two of her top challenges and the associated lessons learned. And finally, we'll explore how Ariel has leveraged innovation in her business to work through challenges and achieve her goals. So join me in welcoming Dr. Ariel Cerruto as we embark on another incredible episode of Elevate Your Business. And without further ado, welcome to the show, Ariel. How are you doing?
Good morning, Ed. Thank you so much. I'm wonderful. How are you?
I'm doing very well, thank you.
Good.
So, to start with, could you share a little bit more about yourself and your business venture?
Sure. So I am an occupational therapist. I have my post-professional doctorate in OT, and I primarily work in an outpatient orthopedic setting. And so over the past 12 years of my career, I have seen patients having copays to come to therapy. In the beginning, when I started my career, they were reasonable, like $25 copays per session. And over the course of my career, those costs have increased dramatically. I mean, right now I have patients in my clinic with $75 copays, $80 copays, $125 copays, and it's just becoming unaffordable for patients to get the care that they need. And so I had an idea for a long time, but I just didn't know how to make it happen. And then COVID happened. And for many people, it was a bad thing. But for me, it was like, okay, this is my time. The research is there around telehealth. It's new, it's innovative, and I think my app is this is the time to create my app and see what happens. So I enrolled in a doctorate program and I did my doctoral research on an app that I created. And now it is now my business, which is Motivate Healthcare.
Wonderful story. Can you explain a little bit about that app? What does it do?
So my app, what I wanted to do was I wanted to test it. Telehealth is wonderful, but I feel like there still needs to be a human component to therapy. There's so many things you can't do over an app. I can't take range of motion measurements. I can't adjust someone's splint. And you don't really build that therapeutic relationship as much over a telephone screen or some kind of technology screen. So I wanted there still to be a human aspect. So how it works is like I have patients come to the clinic once a week and then they would use my app the rest of the week. So it still cuts down on the cost of coming to therapy, especially if you have to come to therapy 2 to 3 times a week for like 10, 12 weeks. So you're coming to therapy less, but you're still achieving good outcomes, which is really what we are all about, is helping people and helping them get the access that they need without the costly financial aspect of coming to in-person therapy so much.
Absolutely incredible. I mean, you're allowing people to cut down their costs by as much as 80%.
Yep.
That's absolutely incredible. Where are you at in its launch?
So my app currently is available for Apple users. It's in the Apple App Store at the moment. We're currently developing for Android. And then in May, we will be launching in 2 clinics in Rhode Island and then go from there. I hope it continues to build momentum and that more clinics will be using it. And so, the future is bright and we'll see what happens. It would be wonderful if this becomes the standard of care. I just, people shouldn't have to choose between buying groceries and getting the care that they need to get better so they can buy those groceries. And I really feel like we had to come up with something better.
Absolutely agreed. So I absolutely look forward to hearing from you again down the road, and we may have a follow-up because I want to hear about the success of this.
I
So,
would love that. And I would be so honored.
okay, so our first question, you've been through an incredible journey. How do you define success today after going through the journey so far?
So, when I was younger, I used to think like success was measured by the size of the house that you lived in. And, as you age and you go through life, you mature and you learn things. And I realize now it's more about the lives that you've touched and the people that you help and the imprint you leave on the world. We all think the path to success is like a straight line, and it's not. There's many twists and turns and bends, and success is in the beauty of the journey and what you overcome to get to the end of that and what you learn about yourself along the process. I feel like that's also like what forges character and creates success. Perseverance and resilience through trials create success.
Absolutely. It's a world in which we must learn from our failures because we're going to have them. Life's going to
Yeah.
throw us obstacles. So, love how you explain that. So, through that, you mentioned a little bit about some of the challenges that you've had. Can you name one or two of the top challenges you've had and the associated lessons learned?
So it's kind of funny. So when I was getting my doctorate, they were like, "You want to do what? You want to create an app? Like, are you okay?" And they're kind of like, "Do you have a backup plan in case you don't?" And I was like, "No, this is what I'm doing. This is what I'm gonna do. This is how I'm gonna do it." And I really didn't take no for an answer. I think your why and the reason you're doing what you set out to do has to be bigger than any obstacle that you face or any challenge that you come up against. I didn't really take no for an answer. I was nice about it, and I feel like if you're nice and kind and you respect people, they'll respect you back and they're more willing to help you. But I was determined like this is what I was going to do, and I wasn't going to really let anything stop me because it's not about me. It's about helping other people.
Right.
And down the road, that could be me sitting in that chair talking to a therapist saying, I can't afford to go to therapy. What am I going to do? And I see me in these patients, and what I don't ever want somebody to have to choose, make those decisions. People should get the care that they need. They shouldn't have to struggle or worry about feeding their family and getting better. There that shouldn't happen. And so that was my why, and that's what pushed me to get to where I am today. And I hope that I can help people, and that's my mark that I leave on the world. But to anybody, if your why is big and that's your dream, you hold on to that. You hold on to that and you pursue it with all your might. Don't ever let anybody tell you no.
Out of curiosity, I worked for a university for a lot of years. How did that PhD review board, how did their behaviors, their attitudes evolve over the period of time from the point that you started and they gave you a little pushback to the time that you completed and received your PhD?
Yeah, so they were a little bit like we got to be honest, a lot of your classmates are, kind of doing surveys. Like, not only did you like create an app, but you want to test this app as your doctoral research, we're not really sure what's going to happen here. And I was just, listen, this is going to change lives. This is going to help people. This is important. My data shows that even though I had a small sample size, like this does work. It will help people. The data doesn't lie. These are the numbers. And they were like, okay. But I was definitely a trailblazer in that aspect because nobody had created an app, made an app, and then tested it for their research. But I was like, no, I know what it's gonna show. And I knew in my heart what it was gonna show. And so they couldn't really say no. And so they said yes. And I, got to use it in my clinic, and this is where I am now.
Well, from our first conversation, your passion was absolutely incredible, obviously still is. And I so much admire that the perseverance, the trailblazing to leverage your term, absolutely incredible. And I know from my own experience within universities, they have a traditional mindset. So pushing past those boundaries can sometimes be incredibly challenging, more challenging than it maybe even should be. But the courage, the passion, the combination of those attributes, the perseverance, absolutely incredible. So congratulations on that. And I wish you all the best in rolling this out to
Thank
the
you.
Rhode Island medical institutions in May. And I hope it grows like wildfire across the United States because there's 350 million of us here and there's 8 billion people around the world. It can help anybody anywhere. So I think that's
Absolutely.
going to be absolutely incredible.
Absolutely. I will say I did have like some really great professors too who thankfully like saw the value in what I was presenting and were like, okay, whatever, like we'll help you. And so I think that was like again a key to the puzzle. But being kind and respectful and really making sure your heart was in the right place was like another like big bonus to that. But yeah, it's definitely was new and something that didn't exist
Yeah.
before. And I feel like people also always like shy away from new things a little bit and you just really say no, this is what I believe in, and you stand your ground. It
But
comes
with
from a good place.
right.
All good things happen.
But with that polite respect
Yeah.
and etc. that helps evolve the relationship. So and everything you've said, you've encapsulated all of the best behavioral characteristics associated with getting to business success. And
Yeah.
like I said, I applaud your efforts. From an innovation perspective, the question really generally is, what's it mean for you today and where do you see it going into the future? You've kind of started to answer that, but because your whole solution is around technology.
Yeah.
Anything to add relative to, what you're doing with it and where do you see it going into the future beyond your existing plans to roll this out nationally and hopefully internationally?
So I really feel that like, technology isn't going to go anywheres anytime soon. And so how do we harness that to help people the best that we can? And ultimately, when I designed my app, I saw insurance companies buying it. You would like to think that doctors and therapists hold all the power, but we don't. A lot of what we do is dictated by insurance companies.
Yeah,
And so my ultimate goal would be I would love to have an insurance company buy this and or partner with me and offer it to patients. And so maybe they would get a discounted rate on their copay if they used my app and went to therapy in person once a week. So instead of $125 copay, if you had to use my app and go to therapy, you'd have, let's say, a $50 copay. 50% of all surgeries and just treatment in general, it depends on if they're following their home exercise program or not. Like 50% of the success. And so with my app, you can prove that they are. And that leads to decreased risk of having repeat surgeries or prolonged therapy, which ultimately would save insurance companies money, but also save patients money, which is ultimately like my goal. That's what I would want to do. I want to help people. I feel like it's so important and not enough people are really about that anymore. And it hurts my heart because people are everywhere and it should be the reason we do anything in life is to better the next generation and
for
help as
humanity.
many people as we can.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the questions keeps spinning through my head is where and how in the medical field, which I don't have any real experience, but it seems like this could be applied to other areas.
Oh
Any
yeah,
thoughts on that?
absolutely. Absolutely. So the clinic that's going to launch this for me in Rhode Island actually has occupational therapy, physical therapy, and speech therapy. And
Okay.
so all the therapists will be using my app. So it won't just be OTs. So other disciplines will be using it as well. Down the line, you could even have like nurse practitioners using it to treat patients. If you still need to see them in person, sure, but there's the sky's kind of the limit. I designed this for therapists just from what I was seeing, but we can design it to do pretty much whatever you want it to do. So, the future is very bright and I'm excited to see like what other doors open. But it started with the heart of, helping orthopedic outpatient clinic patients. As
Well, I
long as it's
love it.
helping people, I don't really care.
Yeah. No, I love it. And I'm sitting here spinning through my head. We talk a lot about artificial intelligence and things like that on this show. And this is one of those areas where AI may provide a great platform for understanding the data and making improvements in the future, expanding its use, et cetera. But it also really comes back to the fact that it's the human technology interaction together to make this work. And
Correct. Yep.
and I see that as just so incredibly valuable to your patients out there, to our viewers out there. because I'm guessing that some of our viewers or their family members or whatever have gone through this. I myself have gone through it with my shoulder,
Yep.
and thankfully we had great insurance at the time, but that was years ago. And insurance companies
Yeah.
aren't paying as much anymore. I could absolutely see. Plus, I'm an independent soul. And so
Yeah.
for those people that don't like going to the doctors all the time, this gives
Correct.
them a way to ensure that what they're doing is right,
Yep.
see the doctor periodically when needed, that ability to use their self-discipline to complete their
Yep.
therapy.
A big piece of like I feel like why telehealth doesn't always work is because you don't have that human interaction. And with my app, like you do, because you have to come to the clinic once a week. You have to have face-to-face interaction with someone. Obviously, we can design the app down the road for later things, but you really build that therapeutic relationship between therapist and patient, and you build that trust. And so that helps to foster like people wanting to use the app and to do well. I don't think that I think that's invaluable, and you can't ever replace that with technology. But I think, this is where therapy or technology and the medical world come together to create something beautiful for patients. It's not one or the other. It's them working together. And I think that's a big piece of the success of where I am today and why this will continue to grow is that therapeutic relationship.
One more question popped into my mind as we were talking. If I'm a patient and I'm going every Friday to see you, and all the time in between that I'm using myself, but something happens or I've got a question, is there a communication mechanism through the app, or is that go through normal channels?
Yep, there's a button that says email therapist, and you can send them an email, they'll get it in their inbox, they can email you back. Right now we're
Mm.
building capabilities to communicate like actually in the app, like, more like so you would check the app for a message back, but right now there's a box, you click it and it sends it right to your therapist and they can answer you right back. So yes, there is a nice piece to that.
Outstanding. All this said, what would be the one takeaway that you'd offer our viewers that they must consider in their journey toward success?
So I like wholeheartedly believe that you can change the world. You absolutely can. All it takes is a dream and a burning desire to not give up. I think if you do good things come back to you. But I really feel like, you can make a difference. We don't hear this enough in our world, but you can make a difference. Your voice does matter, and you can change the world. You have a direct effect on the people around you, and then they have a direct effect on the people around them. So I feel like you can create a ripple effect and you absolutely can change the world. And if you have a dream or desire, you hold on to that and you chase that.
Now, I absolutely love that. So thank you.
Thank you so much.
Oh, you're very welcome. Thank you all for joining us today, and a special thank you to our incredible guest, Dr. Ariel Cerruto, for sharing her insights, experiences, and best success tactics with us. We hope this discussion has ignited your enthusiasm and equipped you with the resilience, innovation, and adaptability needed to tackle the entrepreneurial world head on. Success is multifaceted, and it's crucial to carve out your own definition of it. Let Dr. Cerruto's insights guide you as you journey through the entrepreneurial landscape, embracing change, seizing growth opportunities, and remaining flexible in the face of ever-changing business. Thank you once again to our phenomenal guest speaker, Dr. Ariel Cerruto, and thank you all for tuning in. We look forward to seeing you next time as we continue exploring the stories behind exceptional entrepreneurs. Stay resilient and stay innovative, everyone. Have a great day.